Hello, my name is Dwayne Perry with DP Performance, Strength Training Made Simple. And with this video, I'm going to run through my foundational full body functional routine. We're going to start with 3 lower body exercises, hit a little bit of core in the middle, then we'll finish with 3 upper body exercises. We're going to hit every major muscle group and cover the main functions of the human body. Starting with the squat, number 1, 2 foot in the ground exercise, our most developmental core strength exercise. We're going to go into a single leg exercise for balance and joint integrity. Then we'll finish up with a backside, finish up lower body with a backside hamstring, glute, or lower back exercise. Reason being, we're going to start by activating the largest muscle groups within the body. They release hormones to the smaller muscle groups so that you get a greater return on the back end of your workouts naturally. Then we're going to hit a little bit of core in the middle. That'll be fun. And upper body wise, we're going to hit a push, we're going to hit a pull, and then we're going to hit a shoulder and grip strength exercise. Reason being, push, basic function, pull, basic function, and then I find that putting that strength together with the shoulder, if you have a weak shoulder, you lose all that strength when we push or pull. So making sure this joint is strong and has integrity is what I like to round out each workout with. Now, to start, I have 2 major technique points that you must get down to protect your joints. Number 1, our most important structure in the body is the spine. To protect the spine, I have a point called T-spine. So do this for me. Squeeze your shoulder blades back, drop them an inch, and then find a somewhat comfortable position here. Now, when we squeeze them back, we engage everything across the top of the spine. When we drop it an inch, we engage everything down the spine. That activation is going to look like a T. That's why I call it T-spine. When we do that, we bring the head, neck, and shoulders into alignment. And when we're building strength, whether we're doing a squat or a press or a pull, we're going to develop strength into alignment versus doing whatever the fuck we want to push or pull or whatnot, and not really building joint integrity while gaining strength, which is the number 1 goal. So T-spine is my first point. Then number 2 is finding your balance point. Anytime we're stabilizing or doing a lower body exercise, I'll say this, most people's knees ache when they do squats or lower body lunges or whatnot because they come to their toes when doing a lower body exercise. Ideally, we keep our weight just underneath the ankle. When we do that, that is the most efficient place to keep our weight. When we come to the toes, we force an additional stretch through the foot that ultimately comes through the knee, and that's when we start messing with patellar tendonitis and knee pains. So number 1, always have good T-spine, squeeze them back, drop them an inch. You're not necessarily pinching the shoulder blades, but we will keep a golf ball size softness in between there while holding this alignment. And then 2, anytime we're balancing, we're going to find that balance point. Now, we're going to get into the workout. I'm going to do just 1 set of 10 for each of the exercises. For beginners, I like to start you at 3 sets of 6, move you to 3 sets of 8, then progress to 3 sets of 10. For my more advanced athletes, I'll do 3 sets of 30 seconds at a medium intensity, medium load, seeing how many reps we can get before that T-spine, before our technique starts to break down. So to start, the number 1 squat exercise I have is a goblet squat. We can use a kettlebell or a dumbbell with this. Before we get into that, first off, feet position and technique. Take 2 fingers, find the top of your hip bones with 2 fingers. Point them straight down. I want you to imagine you were to draw a line straight down, and I want your feet just outside of that line. It's not going to be directly in line with it, but just outside completely of that line. That's our feet position. We're going to turn the toes out slightly to tailor to our naturally open hips. Now, when we pick up weight, this is going to want to bring us forward. But anytime we squat, we want to stay as upright as possible. Now, with this, I'm going to hit 10. I'm going to do 5 this way, so you can check my posture and see myself get better upright wise the more I go. So starting out here, goblet squat, 1. And you can see I'm playing with my toe positioning as I'm warming up. Everybody's going to be different. Some people are more narrow, some people are more wide. Though I am looking to stay upright. And I'm not getting all the way ass to grass. Most people will cut ourselves off just above 90. That is most of our strong range of motion area. I'll say anything below that, we start to get into the butt wink, and there's a compression of the spine there. So if you want to get into more squat range of motion, check out the butt wink, and stopping just before that butt wink is ideal to minimize spine compression. So just 5 more here. 5, 4, looking to keep my shoulder blades back, not letting them come forward, but staying back as best as possible. And last thing, when you're hitting your 3 sets of 6, be aware of your knees coming in at all. If that's happening, there's bad angles for the body or doing something wrong, push your knees out with goblet squats. All right. So goblet squats, hitting 3 sets of 6 there. Next step, I have step downs. I'm using a stool as such. You can use stairs. You can use a step a step stool. Anything that elevates you off the ground works. Now, I pulled this exercise straight out of hip rehab. Reason being, the joint integrity involved is pretty much unbeat by any other exercise. Now, we're going to step up onto a platform, a stool, find our balance point, meaning keeping weight just below the ankles. I'll actually turn this way. And staying on the balance point, looking to stay as upright as possible. We're going to drop down until our heel taps the ground, and then we're going to come back up on it. Let me switch feet so we maybe can see better. Find that balance point, getting upright, relaxing the upper body. We're going to drop down until our heel taps and then come back up. I'm not necessarily putting weight down on here and then coming up on it. And I'll say this, if your knee is going to do anything with this exercise, I want you to push your knee out. If the knee caves in, we're doing something bad structurally with the knee. If we push the knee out, we're in a safe mode. We're engaging all the correct muscles of the hip. We're in safe mode. That's the main thing. Now, I'm going to do 6 step downs here so we can see how to properly do it. I'm going to do 6 on my right leg straight up, then I'll do 6 on my left leg sideways. So here, I am checking to see that I'm pushing that knee out. If we're on a stair and let's say this is too easy, I can tap that heel a little bit further out. The thing is, I do want to stay upright and try to relax my body as much as possible here. Now turn it to the side. We'll see the most common error I see with this is we'll come forward and up off that balance point when we're coming down to touch the heel, or the upper body is coming too far forward. I ask you, top things here, relax the upper body, make sure we stay on that balance point. If you are coming to your toes, we're doing something bad with the knee. If we're sitting back, almost to the point your toes are coming up, we're engaging the proper muscles. 6. Finding proper alignment. 5. 4. Teaching the body how to properly bend. And ideally, a breath synchronization is ideal. Inhaling as you go down, exhaling as you come up. So those are step downs. Our single leg exercise for joint integrity. Now last up, I have leg curls. This is the best body weight exercise there is for strengthening all the lower body muscles that we do not see in the mirror. For this, we will need a stability ball. You're going to lay on your back. You're going to start with your feet about on the middle of the ball. Feet together, toes straight up on the heels. We're going to push the hips up, and I'm going to look to keep my hips extended this whole time. So keeping the hips pushed up as I initiate movement, I'm going to roll this ball in as far as I can, then take it back out. We can keep the hips down. This is what I call getting a little bit less on return. We're getting maybe 50-60% activation here. But if we keep the hips up, keep them up, push them up as that ball goes up and goes down with full range of motion, then we're getting full activation from this exercise. These are a toughie, and like I said, I'll typically start with a set of 6. I'm going to do 6 more just so you see how it's properly done. When I'm coaching this, I'm looking mainly, number 1, to see that the hips are in full extension. We're not caving in, dropping those hips at all, lapsing in concentration or activation at all during the exercise. And 2, ideally we're rolling to the balance point, then back up. Anytime we roll to the toes or become heavy on our toes, it turns it into a slightly more front side activated exercise. So with this, starting on my heels, looking to come up on my balance point, take it back out. I got 6 great ones here. Still finding some T-spine on the ground, driving the elbows through the ground. Anytime I can breathe, bring breath synchronization into it. It's ideal for body awareness. All right, and those are leg curls. Now, all of these exercises can be found on my website, durangostrength.com. I have manuals and booklets with 3 to 6 week programs of these exercises structured. Now, next up, we hit our lower body. I'm feeling pretty good. It's time to hit the core. And we're gonna stay on the ground with the core. Now, for beginners, well, core is a bitch. It's a mother lover. I cannot stand doing it, so when I do it, I want to knock it out as quickly as possible. So I like to do abs in circuit styles, not necessarily reps, like everything else. For beginners, I may start off with 3 sets of 15 seconds, increase to 3 sets of 30 seconds. And let me show you what we got here. So you can use any object for this. I don't have anything around me, so I'm gonna use this booklet. You can use a little dumbbell, 3-pound, 5-pound dumbbell. And my favorite core exercise is figure 8s. Going through the legs, kicking them out, bringing them back as such. We get a little bit of mental engagement going through the legs. We're picking the knees up, simulating when our legs get tired on the field or in activity. And our back is up off the ground. Anytime we can get our back off the ground for an ab, we can engage the core that we don't see in the mirror, which is just important as the stuff that we do. Now, figure 8s, I'm gonna go for 3 seconds and give you a couple coaching points as we go along. Matter of fact, I don't have a timer, so we're gonna do 30 total. So with these, I want to act as if I'm pressing a button with my big toe. The more range of motion, the more activation, the better. I'm not leaned all the way back, shutting off my lower back, but I am upright, and I'm pressing that button, bringing knee to chest. Pressing that button, bringing knee to chest. I don't want the legs going every which way, doing too much. Ideally, they're coming straight out, straight back, straight out, straight back. You can get better with that as you go. 3 sets of 30 seconds is what I recommend in a foundational routine. Now, that is our lower body goblet squats. Guys, I recommend starting with about 20 pounds. Ladies, about 10. Step downs, finding a comfortable step to where you can stay on your balance point. If you can use a chair if you can stay on your balance point. If all you have is a stair and that's too easy, put that heel out in front of you just a little bit more so you can get a little bit deeper in that step down. Though the key point with those is if you are coming to your toes, you're doing more bad than good. Make sure you sit back on your balance point almost to the point your toes are coming up. And then leg curls, those always get me going. Try those out. You'll feel what I'm talking about. Everything backside, hamstring, glute, lower back. Figure eights, resembling running, hitting that core. Next up, upper body. Now, ideally, well, I won't say ideally. For the sake of this video, I do not have a workout bench. I like to substitute with the stability ball instead. What we're going to do is a dumbbell alternating bench, and we're going to superset that with a dumbbell row. So first, key points to a dumbbell alternating bench. And the reason I like to alternate is just that little bit more activation, burn a little bit more calories as we're going, engage the mind a little bit more as we're pressing. Key points, the dumbbell alternating bench. We're going to roll back. If you got a stability ball, we're still going to find some good T-spine on the ground, or excuse me, on the ball. Here's how it looks. My key point here is I want you always, anytime you're doing a dumbbell press, to tap the inside of the dumbbell on the outside of your chest. Not here, not too far outside. That's going to strain the shoulder. We're going to tap it right on the outside of the chest. The other one is going to stay locked out just above the shoulder. So I don't want this arm getting super wide or coming across here. This should be a straight up and down movement, damn near over that shoulder joint. Okay? For here, I recommend, once again, starting with 3 sets of 6. Alternating, just getting that little bit more engagement. As I say, I like to superset my push and pull. Reason being, instead of hitting one muscle group or another muscle group, why not light them up together, get that furnace going in the core. So for bent over row, we can always pull a little bit more than we can push. So I'm going to go up a little bit in weight. Key points here. Whatever weight we have the dumbbell in, well, first, we're going to start in about squat stance. Whatever hand we have the weight in, we're going to kick that leg back about heel to toe, maybe a little bit more. From this position, I'm going to hinge at the waist, keeping just a slight bend in the legs and pulling straight up here, keeping the elbow tight to the body. Where I often see most guys and girls go wrong is when we bend the legs too much, we turn this damn near into holding the squat here, and then we round the back, which is anytime you hold weight with a curved back, we're doing something bad there. Also, we tend to throw all of our weight on this front foot, which makes it even harder to have a good flat back. So do this with me. From good squat stance, feet just outside the hips. We're going to kick one foot back, about heel to toe. Keeping just a slight bend in the legs, we're going to hinge forward at the waist. Not balanced, super balanced. I don't want to see you like this on your front foot, but balance between both feet equally, maybe even a little bit more on your back foot, pulling this weight back. I don't want all this stuff yanking it. I want you to find some good T-spine, pull that shoulder into alignment, bring it up, drop it straight down. Kick that elbow back, drop it straight down. Normally I'll start with 8 bent over rows to one side, flip it over. Good technique. The number one thing here I'm looking for is 1, equal pressure between both feet, and 2, a good arched lower back. Some people will say flat or whatnot. Our spine has a natural slight arch in it. I want to simulate that natural slight arch as much as possible, whatever the fuck anybody else says about flat back or whatnot. Balanced up, good T-spine, almost feeling a stretch on the hamstring. Kicking this elbow straight back, tapping this weight just below the chest, just under the nipple line. We hit 8 here. Then going back to your dumbbell, dumbbell alternating bench. Now, I like to do 3 rounds of both. Hitting 3 sets of 6 dumbbell bench, alternating bench, coming back to 3 sets of 8 dumbbell row, 3 by 6, 3 by 8 each. And then moving on to our shoulder exercise. Now, ideally, if you have a kettlebell, an upright row is ideal. And an upright row looks, you would grab the kettlebell by the sides, or you can do it with a dumbbell. It's a little bit more awkward. And feet right underneath the hips, still finding your balance point. We're raising the dumbbell up to just below the chin and back down. Key point is you will always keep your elbows higher than the weight. None of this shit here. That is likely my favorite exercise to develop the shoulders, though I do not have a kettlebell with me. So with dumbbells, next best is a shoulder combo. We're going to do a front raise, target the front of the shoulder. We're going to do a lateral raise to hit the middle of the shoulder. Then we're going to do a butterfly to hit the back of the shoulder. So front raise, feet right underneath us. We're going to start thumbs up, taking weights to about eye level and back down. I'm not looking for you to swing this. My key point here is to find core strength through keeping your weight under your balance point. And when doing these, you will feel exactly what I'm talking about on how to stabilize the body. Once we hit 8 dumbbell front raises, thumbs up to eye level there, then we will take it to dumbbell lateral raises. Feet right underneath us, arms straight out, back down to about eye level and back down. Key point here is I want you to keep your arms locked out. If we bend the arms at all, we start activating some back muscles and turn it into a back exercise a little bit. Keep those arms straight out, taking it to eye level, stabilizing the body through our balance points, hitting 8 here. I feel like that's 8, feel that burn. Then last step to hit the back side of that shoulder in 3 parts. Butterflies. Feet will be in about squat stance. We're going to bend over similar to the bent over row, not rounding the back at all, bending the legs, but keeping just a slight bend on the legs, staying on my balance points, taking it straight out to the side and back down. Most common error I see is coming down here, turns it into a little bit more of a back exercise. And if we bend the arms, same thing as well. I want you to keep your arms locked out and try and take that weight straight out to the side. Balance between both balance points equally. Hitting 8 here. Ideally, you're not slamming those weights, but controlling them. I'm looking for a slight arch in the back and good back integrity there. So that's my full body functional foundation routine. Anytime we are squatting up and down or going up and down, that's a squat. We want to be strong within that. Anytime we're reaching for something or kicking something or balancing on one leg, got to check that off within the workout. Most people don't often know that lunges, squats, hiking, biking, cycling is a front side dominant exercise. All of them are. Most exercises are front side dominant. If you do not make sure you target your backside within a workout, then you will develop muscle imbalances that typically end up destroying joints. So for the legs, if your quad is way stronger than your hamstring, typically that's when a hammy pulls, and or you have major patellar tendonitis and knee pain when you're doing activity. Hitting core in the middle, that's just my icing on the cake. Upper body wise, push, chest and triceps, pull, back and biceps. A shoulder or some type of carry is ideal for your accessory last exercise there. Guys, once again, my name is Dwayne Perry with DP Performance, strength training made simple. For more resources, please visit my website, durangostrength.com, where I'll cover each and every single one of these exercises in detail. If you learned something today, please hit the like button. For more workouts and more functional routines and learning how to do them properly, knowing what's wrong also within there, please hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.